Welcome to the 12 sign reading for Uranus sextile Neptune 2026. In the month of July this year, we have a lot to discuss for all 12 signs. And I'm going to sit back, not rush this process, and take my time. I hope that you get something out of your reading. I hope that you enjoy it. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign. The sun sign is most productive. The rising sign is accurate. The sun sign is thematic. The moon sign is emotional and intuitive. So if you don't know your moon and rising sign, you can go to astro.com, look that information up, find that information. And the dates for this. Uranus will be sextiling Neptune on July 15th, or throughout most of the month of July. And it is the time of new digital technology. We're breaking free on our own path with creating more compassion, creating a better world, or creating a more loving world, which is more advanced for humanity. I discuss this more in the collective video, which just came out this morning. I didn't plan on doing another video, but I just was in the mood to do another discussion on this thing going on right here, so I'm doing it. So here I am. This is the last of the Star of David, or a lot of astrologers talk about the basket formation. That's another way of describing it. Depends on your own descriptors, There's all kinds of ways of describing this configuration. You can describe it as the cradle. It's sort of tomato, potato. So, however you describe it, great, but that's what's going on. And I'm going to finish up the series on these aspects. I'm going to move on to more astrology tomorrow. I'll see what I want to record tomorrow. And probably maybe the full moon in Aquarius episodes I'll do early, because I don't want it to get on Spotify and not have it not load. So I'm going to make sure that this time around it does not. It works, like it gets uploaded on there. So that's why I'm doing it early, because I don't know if that's the time of the month it does that. So I may be doing that. Something is telling me to reduce it down a little bit more these days, to reduce down the themes of it, and I didn't do it in this video. I did it like the other ones, but I may decide to reduce down the amount of information in these videos. Who knows? We shall see. But let us start out with Aries first of all. Timestamps during this video in the description. Let's begin. So, this transit really asks you about what kind of information are you taking in? What kind of information are you imbibing, digesting, ingesting, really putting into your avid case? What kind of information is sticking out to you in a way where you're like, this information could be vital and could be revolutionary to me, but I'm not there yet. And you're not there yet. It's like, not so fast. This is what the universe is saying, because you don't understand the deeper meaning of this information. You don't understand what it means at a more spiritual, more soulful, more psychic level. You don't understand what it means at a more heart coherent level, what it means when you're graveling up the gravel and throwing it over the hills. When you're slicing it into halves and dividing the two pieces of information, you're seeing the two fractals separately but not combining them together. This is asking you to slow down and see this with more clarity, see this with more clear eyes, clear vision, very, very clear perspective of how you are seeing this information play out and how you're seeing this information come alive for you. So when you rush to engage it, when you rush to take it in, then you may miss key pieces of it. You may miss deeper philosophical, spiritual pieces, and that might really, really hold you back. So you may want to consider slowing down before taking in information, because we can have all the stimulus. I would say take a breath. Tap into your intuition. How is this information making me feel? Is this information making me feel peaceful, loving, joyful, optimistic, happy? Or is this information leaving me drained, leaving me very, very exhausted, very, very, very unhappy with my life, very in a negative situation? And is it true for me? Does the information make sense to me? Or is it just a bunch of hot air and hot noise? Those are some also things to consider with this. So understanding what's going on below the surface, so that you don't just take in any piece of information and it's just, meaningless in that sense of the word. So the next thing that goes along with this is your online presence and your online digital behavior. Are you hurting others online? Are you attacking others with showing disrespect to them, with being belligerent and aggressive and mean to them, with not caring about their feelings? Or are you showing respect and integrity? Are you showing that you are operating from a place of authenticity and truth in your responses? Are you showing a sense of oneness and compassion and spiritually minded quality towards other people online? Or is it just an ego game? Ask yourself, what am I showing to others online? And is it for the highest good of all? Is what I am doing in a way that's for the highest good of the all, highest good for others? And there is this sense of truth that you feel inside of yourself when you do the right thing, when you do what feels right. And it's the right thing because it naturally feels like a vibrational match. It naturally feels in alignment with your soul. It naturally feels good and calm and authentic. And it feels kind to do that. So definitely consider that. And then, instead of attacking people online, how can you collaborate? How can you get together with them? So understanding the information deeper and asking questions, relating to others, seeing how I can understand this information better. Because with Uranus, sextile Neptune, the bombardment of information is coming in really, really strongly in the conscious digital level. So how are you collaborating with others? It's time to get together. It's time to ask questions, relate, exchange ideas, do all these things that help you to understand the information at a deeper level. Now, Taurus, you get to choose a grounded, stable reality for yourself with technology to help you create it, with whatever you're cooking, whatever you're engaging in, with whatever you're trying to come up with in the kitchen, or to come up with your money, with your bills, with your this, with your that. You get to choose what kind of reality that you want with the technology. And I think that Taurus wants stability. Taurus wants a stable reality. So use technology in that way for yourself. Now focus on the vibration of peace. Whatever your surroundings are with peace. If you feel the lack of peace, if you feel like your life is thrown up in the giant, like a sack of potatoes, and just thrown over the hills, like over there, thrown over the hills over there, can you focus on sustaining and giving yourself peace? Can you focus on living from a peaceful, loving, grounded place? Can you focus on being in peaceful environments and situations and creating peace inside yourself, creating a peace anchor for yourself, taking care of yourself, meditating, going out in nature, spending time with the people that you love, that understand you, that care for you unconditionally. You deserve to live in the light, and you deserve to live in peace. Taurus is a sign that's all about peace. It is a Venus-ruled sign, and my grandparents were both about peace because my grandma has her sun in the sign of Venus' exaltation, and my grandpa had his sun in one of the Venus's ruling signs. So peace was a theme that was really, really strong with how they sort of what they verbalized to me growing up, is what I perceived from them. And so, what kinds of peace do you want to surround yourself with? So it's very, very important to create peace. And becoming more peaceful internally. Like maybe you cannot be in peaceful situations, but I talked on the Cancer New Moon about coming home to yourself. I talked in the Cancer New Moon about creating peace inside yourself. I don't know if I talked to you about that with the Cancer New Moon that just happened on July 14th. But I did discuss that with everybody. And how can you create more peace on an innermost level? Even if situations may be turbulent, even if situations may be chaotic, can you create peace? Can you come home to yourself that just knows that you're safe, that you're protected, that you're grounded, that you're calm, that you're loved? It's just a very, very simple place of just feeling centered. You can achieve this through breath work or meditation or whatever you do to ground and center yourself. I think that grounding and centering yourself and bring yourself to a calm, inside-out place. Anger and reactivity and emotion and fighting, that is all low-level stuff. That is all outside-in stuff. Inside out is calm and grounded and present. It is sovereign. It is authentic. It is not veering away from what we know to be true about ourselves. And so that's what we have to remember. So can we bring ourselves, can you, Taurus, because I'm talking about you here, bringing yourself to a much more calm peace of mind and place of being with whatever you're engaging in. Now, Gemini. Gemini can be subject to a lot of opinions, a lot of advice and knowledge and facts and figurines, and it can just get swayed by all this information, by one place over here and then one place over there, taking in all this information and just being a tree that just blows in the wind, taking in the information in an open-minded way and taking in one piece of information, another piece of information, and then it results in confusion. So how can the information be true for you? How can it make sense for you? How can it be resonant for you, Gemini? What resonates for you? The next piece that I want to talk to you about. This is very, very important because you're determining your values, you're determining your beliefs, you're eliminating what doesn't make sense for you, what doesn't work for you. And you're choosing truth. You're choosing integrity to yourself. You're choosing the responsibility that you have to yourself to help yourself to become more clear and less confused, because Gemini can get pretty darn confused. So, at the low level. So we want to make sure that the opinions and the information get spread out in a way that is true for you, that makes sense for you. So then also Gemini is prone to gossip, and I'm going to look up gossip. Gossip is the act of rumors, personal, private things going on, and these things that you spread are not necessarily true. So that's gossip for you. This is not right. In this Aquarian age, we have to respect others' privacy. This excludes images off of Google that you're copywriting, because who knows? I may put an image in my videos like I've done the past 5 months, which I've taken the images off of Google and I haven't felt anything wrong about it. And that is an option for me. I'm not talking about that because we have to be very, very discerning about our rules with copyright. We have to be very, very discerning about what we limit and what we allow so that it's not too infringing and not too limiting. Because if we get too strict, we will limit personal sovereignty and authenticity. And there are much worse things than taking a picture offline and putting it in a video, right? So let's just eliminate that right off the bat. But this can be where you are focusing on privacy. You're not spreading others' information. You're not impacting others' information in a very, very negative way. You're choosing to be very, very discerning about the information that you spread so that it's not just spreading it all around and not respecting others' privacy. So we need to respect what they know, what they're doing, what they're up to, and mind your own business, not needing to be involved with what they're doing. And instead of just talking about it, instead of just intellectualizing it, make it happen. Make it real. Act on the information. Don't just keep talking and verbalizing it and thinking about it and just intellectualizing it in your head. Where that can be good, but it can be really, really limiting, which can hold you back from actually taking action on the thing and making something of yourself and making it a reality for yourself. How can you make it a reality for yourself? By actually acting on it and really seeing it come true in your life. Now, Cancer. Now, this can be about families. This can be about the future of families that have a very humanitarian focus. So are they built with love and strength? Are they built with kindness? Are they built with compassion? Because you could be fixing these families. Well, not fixing. But you could get in there and solve these families. Like I'm thinking of Joe Frost, Super Nanny, who goes and helps families regain control of their children and help them to create a more loving, harmonious home. It can deal with relationship issues between the parents. It can deal with relationship issues between siblings or cousins or parents. Whatever the family is, you are here to help be an ambassador for more peace in family situations. You are here to build more love and strength in family situations. You are here to really, really make this happen for other people in your life because you care, because you want the best. So how can you build more love and more kindness and compassion towards others in your life, towards family, towards the people that really, really mean a lot to you? Where is there a non-harmonious situation going on where there's a conflict, there's a battle, and you are the one to make peace with it. You are the one to make it very, very peaceful and make it very, very loving and draw the olive branch and bring everybody to a peaceful, balanced place where there's kind going on. So how can you not only create more love and nurturing in the family situation, but more nurturing in the world, not just family? Because you can really, really serve humanity by being your tender, loving human self, which we are humans, so we are connected to our emotions, we are connected to our feelings, we are connected to what we feel inside of us as being true, with what's going on with us. We are true to ourselves because we feel emotions. We have feelings. We have those intuitions. And we can really, really be more true to ourselves in that sense of the word with what is going on in the world, in our own individual lives. So, how can we create this in the world? And this can be about AI, like certain excuse me, because there are certain factors going on in the world, like AI, for instance, that just cuts off emotion, cuts off feeling. And with this AI, it is replacing us. It's trying to replace us with our creative things, with the information that we have. And AI lacks emotion. AI lacks the ability to intuit things. So how is AI cutting off these emotions, cutting off these intuitive parts of who we all are in humanity? How is AI doing this? And what is going on in the world, which is ego-based and very, very fighting-based and very, very fighting and mad and angry, where we are cutting off emotions, tender love and compassion, and you are the one to create this in the world. Leo, now you're being invited, Leo, to put yourself out there into the world. You're being invited to put yourself out there online, show your creative gifts, shine in your own light, be your creative self, whatever your creative talent is, whatever you want to present to the world in terms of a talent, this is the time to do that. And making sure that it's soul-centered, making sure that it's not ego-based, that I'm just trying to prove myself, I'm trying to get all the likes and the views and the attention and all the comments and all the attention online with the algorithms and this and that going on with the online space. With not egoically wanting just all this attention and recognition for yourself in that shallow, superficial sense of the word, but something more true for you, something more authentic to you that is not based on what the ego really, really wants. How can you, when you are creating content, or if you do create content, or if you do creative things out into the world, because I trust that you're a very, very creative soul, you're a sun, moon, or Leo rising, how can you connect to your heart when it comes to your content creation, or in your life, blending the online with the real, blending it all together into one? Blending what is going on with how you present yourself online in a heart-based, soul-based level, and presenting yourself in real life as a heart-based, soul-based level. You can really, really do that very, very easily for yourself to this level. You can really, really easily create content that is you expressing your heart's desire, you expressing what you authentically want to express, and you showing that into the world, and you beaming that light, you shining that light out into the world, and whatever you're doing, the online space or the real space, you're doing it. And how are you bold and magical as an individual? Leo is about shining in the spotlight, celebrating who you are, being authentic to who you are, and embracing your own unique light. So how are you bold as an individual? How can you be magical as an individual? How can you show your individuality and your talents as an individual? Now, Virgo, you may feel like the online world will judge you for putting yourself out there, for being who you are, for wanting to be who you are. But if you want to put yourself out online, because this is very, very, very much about digital, becoming digital, because we are talking about Uranus energy here. So the thing with Virgo is that it acts in service. It does things to serve others. It does things to serve humanity. It does things to serve its community. It does things to serve the people in its life. And so, thinking that, the world will judge you from just serving, and how you can serve is embracing your own unique light, and with whatever you're doing, what kind of astrology content, what kind of cooking content, or history content, whatever kind of content that you want to create, with the content that you're doing, like the content that I'm producing now, is meant to serve you. I'm not doing this for the intention of it, but it may help you. It may be beneficial to you. So in a way, I'm expressing my own unique authenticity while I am also serving you, giving you things to think about, giving you things to consider through these readings, giving you, advice and suggestions for how you can grow and evolve through these transits. So this is exactly what I'm doing. So, like right here and now, as I'm sitting in my chair in my room and doing this on a very, very hot and sunny July day on the afternoon of July 16th in Iowa. So I've just given away a lot of information about myself right there. But you can really serve in a lot of ways with doing this. And maybe you can use a lot of precise language. Maybe you can speak in a really, really precise way, in a very, very calm, collected way, where you're being real about your communication. You're being honest about your communication. You're being transparent about your communication. Make sure that you know that you say what you say and you have a point to it, that you're keeping to your point about it. Because Mercury is retrograde this month. And so we could have more miscommunications, more misunderstandings coming out, more misinformation, things not being clear, things not lining up, things not being, well as they should be. And so now you're being asked to be very, very clear when it comes to what you're communicating as a way with whatever you're doing to serve others online. And you don't need the external validation from the outside, Virgo. It's not about needing this needing this validation outside of you. It is about having the information be inside of you. Having the information be already in your intuition, when you already know and you're remembering it, instead of just chasing it out into the world, instead of just looking for the best logical, rational solution to problems. You're looking within and saying, okay, well, this is the problem that can be solved, and this is the solution that feels right to me in my intuition. This is what my intuition, my inner gut, is saying to me with this. So in this way, you're not overly relying on needing to make it make sense, needing to have all the ducks line up and have the ducks line up in a row with whatever is going on here. So trusting what is already going on inside you is really, really important. Now, Libra, you may go across the world and form communities across the globe. That may be a thing here. You may want to cross culture. You may want to interact with people. You may want to collaborate with all kinds of people from all over. Maybe set up a massive Zoom meeting or global spirit jam, like a creator that I'm following is doing on the internet. On social media, has a website, is a spiritual media intuitive. She's having a spiritual global spirit jam. You can connect to across communities. You can cross connect with communities, with people, and form together and come together and really, really be very, very solid and very, very grounded in your connection with being open-minded to connect with others across the globe. And the next thing is, the next really, really big thing, so it's just one thing here, is about not being subject to the reality that others choose for you. That just going along with all the opinions and all the advice and all the thoughts and everything going on here. It's really, really holding you back. Where instead, you can choose your reality. You can choose your truth. You can choose what's true for you. Where you can break free and don't follow what others want. To go on your own path. Because you run the ship of your life. It's your life. It's what you want. It's what you desire. It's what you need. And you are fully allowed to follow your own path and go on your own way and do whatever is in your heart to do. Do whatever you feel that's right for you to do. Do whatever resonates for you in your own life. Do whatever feels true for you in your life. That you get to choose your reality. You get to co-create your reality with spirit. That others are not living your life. So how should they get a say in what you are doing? Why should you let other people who are not living your life tell you how to be. Now, this is not saying just close yourself off to suggestions and advice, and if you're, by all means, ask for help. Be receptive to it. Be open to it. Be willing to listen. But don't take it as gospel, like I have to follow what they're saying and do what they're saying. You may want to do it if it feels true for you, but if they say something and it doesn't feel right for you, then you don't have to go in that direction. You don't have to make it happen for yourself that way. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go on that path, in your life. So this is very, very important for you now to really, really have the freedom to go on your own path with whatever you're doing, and to not let others dictate what you want to do. So then, Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign of transformation. Scorpio is like the snake. Scorpio sheds old skins. It sheds old layers. And it dissolves what is old. It dissolves what's no longer working for it, what no longer resonates for it. And it strips away any layers that's holding it back from its evolution and transformation. It is about taking the version of you that you were before and dying it, having it die to be reborn into something new. So now with this, you're being asked to let go of these identities and move on a path that feels aligned with who you are right now. What is the path that feels true for you right here and now? What is the path that calls to you? What is something that you want to do in your heart that feels like a passion to you, that feels like a gift to you, that feels like something that feels like you want to do it and you're just so fired up about it, you're so enthusiastic about it, and all these kind of things like that. You're so motivated to do it, and you're so driven to do it, that you can't not do it. And so what is that passion? What is that path that you want to do? Whatever it is. I mean, it could be painting, it could be woodwork, it could be writing, it could be cooking. And right now I am reminded, based off of the customs that I am observing around me right now, to watch Joanne rear plates in places. That's cooking. Like, her passion is food and traveling to various places in Europe and taking on food, experiencing food culture, and learning about food and cooking it and bringing it back into her home to prepare recipes that you can prepare in your home kitchen based off of sort of taking the inspiration and the cuisine of those places and translating that into home cooking, which I think is so very important, and I think that I really, really am on board with that. Taking complex things that you get in restaurants or places around and making them for you to be able to execute them in your home, kitchen or whatever. So I just really, really like that. So whatever the passion is for you, you by all means can do that for yourself. And what passions store inside of you that you want to act upon? What are these passions? And maybe you have new intuitive hits. Maybe you're awakening to a new you that has these new intuitive hits of like, I want this passion. I want to go on this path. I want to follow this path. I have this burning passion inside of me because of this new version of myself that I am a new person. I am a new me. I am reborn. And I am new again. And I can choose my own path. And I can follow my heart, pursue my passion, trust my intuition, what feels true and authentic for me inside my soul, not be held back by having to sacrifice yourself for others, having to serve, having to take care of your work, family, and all those things, having them hold you back from achieving your dreams. We shouldn't allow others to hold us back from achieving what our hearts and soul wants for us at a soul level. We shouldn't be limited by that. We shouldn't be restricted by family or whoever in our lives that's keeping us from that. So, so that's what I'm inspiring you with right now. Now, Sagittarius, this may be about becoming bilingual. This may be about using language to share your truth, really, really speaking your truth, and sharing and transmuting your truth into language. Turning lead into gold, taking this truth and articulating, which is the opposite sign of Gemini. North Node and Gemini people are working on their communication skills this life. So they're working on communicating. Gemini is the opposite sign to Sagittarius. So they're working on sharing this truth, making this truth known out into the world, making it broad, making it very, very huge. And so how can you share your truth? How can you share your true beliefs? What you truly believe, what you truly know, who you truly know yourself to be that much more to who you are, and having a good sense of self-knowledge and knowing thyself is very, very important. Remember that I think the Temple of Delphi or whatever, the phrase up on the top says know thyself. Sagittarius is very, very much that sign, and that's not associated to any masculine or feminine. That's just for anyone, male or female. It could be both masculine and feminine. It's not one or the other. It's both and. So, how are you using language to share your own truth? How are you using language to share what you truly want in your life? To share what we really, really want to share with what is going on for you. That can be very, very important. So, articulating what's true for you. What is what you believe? What you believe? What are your values? What are your emotional truths, psychological truths, spiritual truths? I mean, all those kind of things like that. So, we can look at how sovereign and worthy you are, Sagittarius, because you are a fire sign. You are an independent, free-going sign that's very, very independent, wants to go on its own path. You want freedom to go on your own path, and you are fully worthy to go on your own path and march to the beat of your own drum. And by all means, you can do that. And I would encourage you to do that. In this way, we are not turning to the Jupiter retrograde darn lessons of what is going on. But can you share this truth from a place of authenticity? And when you're in your authenticity, you're also in a place of kindness. So when you're in a place of kindness, you're sharing this truth in healthy, kind, loving ways. You're not just giving constructive criticism and, hurting others and taking others down and walking over others' authenticity with this constructive criticism, walking over what others want and all that others want to create out into the world with constructive criticism. So we need to be very, very mindful of really, really being truthful. Being truthful to ourselves online with not, hurting others and stepping on others' toes and judging others. Because you should do this differently. You should do this. You should do that. You could do that. It's not like should. It's not like they have to do it, but it could. Like maybe this is a thought. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm allowed to do this. Maybe I could. Maybe it's an idea. Like it's something that I can or cannot do if I don't feel like it. What could offers the opportunity for possibility and openness to change your mind, openness to do the opposite. Should is like you must do this. So we shouldn't dictate to people, like to content creators or whoever, that they should be doing their content this way. They should be, because they should do it. They have every right to create their content in the way that they want to do whatever kind of content that they want to do that feels right for them. And we shouldn't judge and get on them and dictate to these creators what they should do. Who is anyone to tell anyone what they should do on their own channel? So with this in mind, this is about like sharing your truth, but not projecting, not egoically, just projecting this truth. That's what we need to be mindful of. Now, Capricorn, this is the next sign going on, is the very, very first thing for Capricorn is how is AI hurting you on a financial and professional level? How is AI hindering you from your work, from getting your money, from your career, from all of this? How is it becoming just this monster in your life? How is it becoming something so destructive and something so evil that it's just hurting others and hurting all of our lives, all of our livelihoods, with taking over everything, with taking over jobs, with being able to be a lot smarter than humans, with we're really needing to redefine a lot of things, get back our own sovereignty, get back our own power, get back our own autonomy to run our own lives the way that we want to run our own lives and do things the way that we want to do it. Without AI ruling the roost, without being told, what to do exactly. How is AI hurting you on this level? How is AI holding you back from what you want? And you may become more tech savvy at work. You may think about going your technology or becoming more technological, climbing up the mountain with the technology that you want to build, with being able to pursue your own goals, do your own thing the way that you want to do it authentically, with using technology as a guide, with using technology as a tool to get that way, with whatever your career is, you're using technology as a way to help you to further you in achieving your goals. With however you can do that, that's really Capricorn energy. And also building a life that feels spiritually aligned for you. With whatever goal you're pursuing, whatever life you want to build for yourself, whatever structure that you're trying to create, you're building a life that is not just based off of logical sense. It doesn't make just sense on the practical, rational level, but it feels right intuitively. And that's what we have to remember with this going on. Now, Aquarius. You may feel like you want to break free from the status quo, being free from everyone, from society, of what is going on. You may feel like you want to go on a path that feels sovereign for you, with not following what others want, not doing what others want you to do. And you can not follow the rules of society, not follow the rules of other people with what they want to say to you, with what they want to do to you, with holding you back, with limiting you, with restricting you. That is really, really important to consider here. Is not conforming, because Aquarius is a sign of non-conforming, not following the herd, not doing what family wants or whoever wants. It is a sign of doing what they authentically want to do that's true for them, moving on their own path with whatever that path is, with whatever they're doing. So, the next thing is to act on your visions and thoughts, as opposed to having them just be theory. Have them just be ideas that you contemplate, that you intellectualize, that you think about and don't act upon in your life, that you don't make happen. So can you take your visions of what you're imagining, of what you're coming up with in your life, and can you make them happen for yourself? Can you act on them? Can you make them real? Can you manifest them in your life? Can you make them tangible for yourself? Can you make them what you want? What's true for you in that sense of the word? As opposed to just ideas in your mind, or, whatever. Because Aquarius can get so caught up in the idea that they miss the actual taking action on it. Aquarius can spend so much time thinking about what they want. It deals with visions, aspirations as the 11th house. What about the action? Busy spending so much time getting together with like-minded people and researching it and reading it, but what about doing it? What about actually making it happen and getting in there and taking action on it? So, releasing this negative tendency of not feeling like you always have to need enough information to take action, enough validation, enough facts, enough figures in this direction. So instead, act, take action. Now, Pisces. Tune into your intuition, Pisces. Don't be swayed into information that you receive just naturally, just easily. Because Pisces is a fluid sign. Pisces is an adaptable sign. Pisces just goes wherever the wind takes it. It just takes in information and doesn't tap in to its roots, to its truth of what's true for them. Pisces just has the information and just goes along with it. Just accept it. Just, I'm not going to make waves. I'm not going to, rock the boat. I'm just going to be adaptable. I'm just going to flow with this. But having a strong rooted sense of self, strong rooted sense of self with your identity, with your truth, is very, very important when it comes to the information that you, that you receive. That is true for you, that resonates for you in that way, where you're, that you're tuning into, your intuition. That you're tuning into your intuition in this way. And that's what you are doing. So I'm talking here about not getting swayed by the information. And just now, I just was doing this recording, and I just had this anxiety of whether my channel would get taken down or removed, because I had that happen to me twice with a couple other accounts. And so I just changed some settings on my channel just now so that there wouldn't be any bots on my channel. There wouldn't be any, just anything, just nasty or just really, really inappropriate, or that my channel is a safe, clean space that's not, littered with bots in it, which could protect the channel with it being a clean space for, real people to comment and not bots to comment. That way it will be better. That way it will be safer, and it will prevent me from ever leaving, hopefully. So that's just a little update that I'm just throwing in right here and now. Just thought I'd do that. Because the next point that I want to make for you is like getting rid of the information that's not true, that's not resonates. The being discerning about filtering out the information that you receive, because comments are information, comments are stimulus. So I did that to filter that out, to put a firewall around. So I want to ensure that my channel is protected in the safe space So, you know, being on technical platforms and sources that support intuitive growth, you know, that really support, you can grow through intuition on these sources. You become more intuitive, more spiritual with these particular things going on. So how is being online helping you to being with spiritual YouTube channels or you know, spiritual communities online that are like-minded community, like the Good Vibes Tribe, like Signature Cat, or Oracle Circle membership, like Hall Baron, like all these online spaces with like-minded people to support spirituality, to support intuition. Pisces is all about this, so that can be another great thing. And then also, you know, taking action on this, on the spiritual vision, taking action on that. And you know, really taking action on, you know, what you want in that sense of the word, you know, with whatever you're doing. And you know, because you have the spiritual vision, you know, you have the idea, but wouldn't it be great to see it and feel it and touch it and, you know, understand it in that kind of way? You know, wouldn't it be great to have that experience? And so, you know, what if you could, you know, actually make it real, you know, make it tangible, you know, act on it, make it a reality for yourself, to, you know, to have it be in your reality, to have it be something real. Yes, I keep talking to Pisces about that. I've talked to you about that repeatedly. This is yet another indication to turn your dreams into reality. So that is the end of the Star of David, or the basket, or the cradle formation episodes. I hope that you enjoyed this series that I've done with all these outer planet transits that make up the Star of David. And I hope that you enjoyed these videos. I hope that you go back and listen to the other ones, which include Jupiter opposite Pluto, Jupiter in harmony with Neptune and Uranus, Neptune sextile Pluto, and Uranus trine Pluto. Those are all the other videos that I've done in the series on the basket, or the Star of David, or however you define it. Again, tomato, okay? So I hope that you will maybe refer back to this at some point. You always can, and I hope you got something out of your reading. Hope you got some insight from it. I will really honestly see you in tomorrow's episode, which I want to do the full moon so that, you know, I will, you know, trust that the episode will get published. And just, you know, I just want to break a negative habit pattern of that full moon general collective video not getting published on Spotify. So just in case there's any technical problem at the end of the month, I'm just going to do that early because I want to talk about it. And maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll do something else, you know, who knows. But that's all for now, everybody. Okay, bye. That's it.